Good morning, and to those who are Muslims amongst us, I say Ramadan Kareem. My name is Jack Lookman. Um, Basically, I promise to add some more flesh to a business idea which I suggested on the platform. The idea was about monetizing book reviews. Yes, I wrote about it. The whole idea is, for example, if you look at books, for example, that's a book written by me. It's called Despair, Submission, Faith, and Hope. Of course, it's by Jack Lookman. It's about almost 100 pages. That's volume one. This is another book, Despair, Submission, Faith, and Hope, volume two, by Jack Lookman. It's also about 100 pages. Now, this is an even bigger book. It's about 400 pages plus, and the size is almost double that of Jack Lookman on the Despair, Submission, Faith, and Hope. Now, this is another book. It's actually a massive book. It's about, let's see, it's about, let me see, it's over 700 pages long, and it's a massive book. Now we have all sorts of books which are being published almost every day. You have some which are published by mainstream publishers, and you have some which are self-published. Now, most people might want to read books. It's either they don't have time, some don't have time, some are after the daily rat race. By the time they come back, they are brain drained or they are stressed, so they don't have time for it. For different reasons, people might not read books. Some are actually lazy at reading books or not interested in reading books, but they like the information. So basically, the business idea is to tap into that opportunity. Now, in a nutshell, you'll be doing book reviews, and I'll talk more about that. Now, let's start with the definition of a book review. The book review, the books I've shown you, some of them may be voluminous, etc. What the reviewers are doing in the mainstream book review industry, they read through the books and then they come and tell you a summary of the book. They might criticize it positively or negatively or otherwise. And then, it's up to the audience to decide to buy the book or etc. That's basically a book review. Just as you have book reviews, you have all sorts of reviews. You have film reviews on television, whereby the reviewer reviews the films. You might give a summary of the film, give the positives there, the negatives, etc., and sometimes criticize it constructively or negatively. That's what maybe the film book or film review is about. Sometimes in our daily activities, maybe we purchase a product online, we might give a review. We might, say that, oh, I give it 4 stars, 5 stars, 1 star or so. 5 stars being, is exceptionally good, and you recommend it, and you might give a little narrative at the bottom and say, oh, this book was wonderful. In particular, I liked so and so section, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes, do minor reviews. For example, on Facebook, you might do a like, or you might do a thumbs up, you might do a thumbs down. Sometimes you might make a comment and say, oh, great, well done. I feel very empowered by this. This is great value, etc., etc. So these are different forms of review. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to be talking about book reviews and the opportunities it presents. Now, like I've said, lots of people, there are loads of benefits in reading books, but not everybody is able to read books for the reasons I highlighted. Now, that's the problem. And like I said, people like to benefit from it. Apart from it, in this day and age, another thing I would say, with videos or pictures, they say that a single picture can capture 1,000 words. Now, if you talk about videos, probably one video can capture probably 1,000,000 words, because what you read for maybe a month or 2 months, you can capture it and you can get the same information on video. If it's done properly, you could probably get it within hours or days. So now I've highlighted the problem. What are the opportunities? In this day and age when most people don't have time or etc., the rat race, go to work, come back, look after children, sleep, watch a bit of television, and continue that cycle of events. I see the future that most people, maybe a minority, might still read books, but as an alternative might be videos. The internet has actually made it easy. So what's the opportunity? The opportunity is actually that you can do the book reviews. What I'm thinking is you can get maybe 3 or 4 or 5 people as part of the panel. You might decide to moderate. That means you'll be the interviewer, you'll be interviewing them. And then when you interview them, you ask probing questions. Tell us about the book. What are the benefits you see in the book? What's the value? What are the value that the book gives? Was it written in very good English? Was it written in plain English? Etc. 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 All these are things, you probe into the book, into the author, if that author has had other books, etc. etc. So what you're doing is that you'll be asking questions. You don't necessarily have to be an expert. As the person doing the review, or doing the interview or the moderation, you might, if you like, you might just skim through the book, you might look through the content, just skim through, but you ask those who have actually read the books, what's, their opinion about the book, etc. And, you can do probably a 30-minute video, probably a 1-hour video, depending on the content of the book and the length of the book. And that's going to be your own business or your own niche. What all you're doing is reviewing books, etc. Now you might decide to choose your niche. It might be African literature, it might be business, it might be business leaders in Africa or in Europe or whatever. Choose your niche. It might be IT, it might be, it might be interior design, it might be fashion design, whatever your niche is, choose your niche, and then you give content based on that. Now, when you record the videos, of course, you have to edit. You are interviewing those experts who have read the books, and you are getting the juice out of the books. Now, there are issues of legality, copyright, infringement, etc., etc. You will need to actually sort out the legalities. On the one hand, you can come to an agreement with the publishers of the book or maybe the author, etc., and you can come to a profit sharing formula. If you come to the formula, you might decide to either pay them upfront or pay them based on the income generated from the project. Alternative, you might pay them one-off or based on the income generated from the project. Also, it might be a profit sharing formula whereby, depending on what's sold or what income is generated, maybe they get 60%, you get 40%, etc., etc. Also, opportunities, there are monetization opportunities, but I'll come to that later. Now, how do I've told you what the solution is. By the time you interview people, the reviewers, maybe, what they'll review for 1 hour or 30 minutes, they'll go in depth into the details of the book. And on the one hand, you're actually publicizing the book for the publisher. On the other hand, you are creating your audience. If people see that what you're doing is valuable, they'll keep coming to you. Now, your audience, first and foremost, the reviewers, the book reviewers. If you go on Facebook, for example, different Facebook groups, there are loads of readers clubs, etc. You might want to search for them through there if you want to get quality readers, those who really read. Alternatively, you might source your readers and then you can get them to do the reviews. Alternatively, you might go on LinkedIn, Facebook, or social media and maybe do an advert or something like that. Those who've read so and so book, we are interested in you, come to give a review. You tell them what the expectation is and all that. And of course, you do an interview to make sure that they are genuine and they will give quality. Now, the interviews can be done, it doesn't have to be one to one, they don't have to actually be, you don't all have to be in a physical space together. You can do it through Zoom, you can do it through Skype, you can do it through audio recordings, etc. So you can choose on your model of how you want to do it. The important thing is getting that content out. Now, that's getting the reviewers. All you need is maybe 3 or 4, depending on your budget, etc. You can just get them to do the reviews for you. Now, the audience, those who would benefit from this process. On the one hand, you can post on Facebook and you get your audience. On the other hand, you can do it on YouTube. You can get your audience. Of course, you have to name if it's YouTube, you have to name your YouTube page accordingly. Maybe you can say book reviewers for, book reviewers for fashion design, or book reviews for fashion design, etc., etc. You just use the appropriate name for your YouTube page so that people can find you. You can also you can also get people to share your posts, etc., so that other people can benefit from it. You might want to do marketing. For example, if you know the type of people who might benefit from that book, you might want to join their Facebook groups, etc. You can publicize it. The good thing about social media these days on YouTube, most people have phones, most people have tablets, etc. You can actually use your phone to actually do the interviews. You can connect people through WhatsApp, through Skype, through Zoom, etc. Some of them are at low cost, but it's up to you to do your research. And then you get your audience. Now, I've told you about the process. You get the reviewers, you get a moderator, that's the person who is going to be doing the interviews. You ask the reviewers questions, probing questions. At the end of the process, you edit your video or audio, and then you post on maybe YouTube or Facebook, etc. And then what you could do is to find ways of monetizing it. What I would suggest you do, if you do a research, you can do it online. You can put in, how do I monetize Facebook? How do I monetize YouTube? How do I monetize Facebook groups or Facebook pages or whatever? Put in all those questions in the search engine. Go to youtube.com, put in the question there. I'm sure you get loads of hits of how you can monetize. Take time to listen to them. You might want to do it through Google, put in the search question and you can get information. So hopefully that way you'll be able to monetize. On the one hand, you can get your audience, you can monetize through social media. On the other hand, you can actually do what is called affiliate marketing, whereby because you are promoting those products and services, maybe through Amazon or whatever platform, you can get a percentage of the sales that are made, that are generated. You need an affiliate link, etc. It's something you might want to explore. And if you are actually up to scratch with what you are doing, instead of you going to do deals with the publishers, etc., it might actually be the publishers looking for you. For example, if you have 1,000 views on your social media platform, etc., publishers will come looking for you. We have a good book. We want you to publicize it for us, to do a book review, etc. And they will come to you, and then you can tell them, Mr. Publisher, you have to pay me maybe £5 million, £5,000. Negotiate with them, and come to a deal, and you take it forward. Those are ways in which you can monetize. I'm sure there are other ways as well. That's it in a nutshell. But the capital outlay is not much. It's something you can explore if you're able to do it. You might either be the moderator or you might get someone to moderate. But if you get someone to moderate, your profit margin might be lower. But if you keep doing this consistently, on the one hand, you build your social media profile, and then two, opportunities will normally come. And I've only talked to you about book reviews. You can exploit with films. You can exploit with other things that you might come across. Opportunities will always come, but the important thing is to start it in a small way, and then grow it to greater heights. So that's my little chat on book reviews. I hope it's beneficial. I hope to do a proper video at some time soon, and maybe write a book, maybe an ebook, etc. But this is me fulfilling my promise to the community, and I hope it's been beneficial. Again, my name is Lookman, and that's my little talk on book reviews and monetizing book reviews. I hope to start a blog shortly. It's going to be, you can find me on www.jacksinspiration.com. It's not live yet, but hopefully it's going to go live shortly. And to Muslims again, Ramadan Kareem. And to non-Muslims or people of other faiths, peace be unto you. Have a great day, and join the invite people to the platform, to the community. It's a Facebook group. It's called Empowerment, Inspiration, and Support. Invite people to join us, and together we shall grow. I'm not claiming to have a monopoly of knowledge. Each of us have knowledge, and we have our distinct gifts from the Creator. So let's work together and let's move forward together. Have a great day. God bless you. Bye-bye.